What are some tips and advice you can give first-year students?
I think the biggest thing would be about time management, to pay attention to that and look at your schedule and plan your time, because there's so much going on when you first start college, not just the academics, and you really have to be focused on that and have a game plan, because it really does sneak up on you, and then I think students immediately feel overwhelmed.
What are specific tips and advice you can give an undeclared student?
So if the student is undeclared, I would just say just to keep an open mind and not to be fearful about it, not to feel like you're wasting your time taking classes, but instead take advantage of being in the classes that you are in, establish relationships with the professors, especially if it's in a topic that you find interesting, because those are the people that you want to talk to. I think the biggest adversity as a student was financial for me, and because I came from a very large family, and I went to a private university, which was my choice, my parents could not help, and so I had to work pretty much full time and go to school at the same time, and I went to school out of state, so I was away from family and my support system, and also had to balance a full-time job with going to school and being successful. I graduated in elementary education, so for a while I taught elementary education, but then I went back to school in my 30s, which was a little challenging because I had to work full-time as I was teaching, and go back to school and take classes. So it was kind of like a re-entry student.
What teaching strategies do you find most productive?
The most productive teaching strategies is when I, in any way, can engage the students. I don't get a lot of positive from lecturing for too long, so any time that I can involve the students in a discussion or in small groups, it's most beneficial. They're going to come to class and they're going to do the minimum of what's required. Well, obviously, from any improvement that I can see actually is tangible from their writing, since I teach all writing classes.
How would you define lifelong learning?
Always following your passion. Okay. For example, I just finished taking an art class, and people ask me, or people make comments about retiring, saying, gee, I don't know what I'm going to do when I retire, but lifelong learning is just, for me, just always answering your passion, always going out for what you're, always going toward what you're interested in, and that just continues.
Your definition of critical thinking?
My definition of critical thinking is to be open-minded and skeptical at the same time. Being able to, as best as possible, balance all the most logical points of view about something.